Well, next up, we have our good friends Chris Sterling and Bella Bai. Now, Chris Sterling is the Senior Product Line Manager for Spring Cloud Gateway, and Bella is a Senior Software Engineer, also working on Spring Cloud as part of the commercial team. Now, together, they've been working hard to try and remove that friction that Ajay spoke about yesterday that developers often feel with traditional API gateways by building something that's a more developer-focused alternative. So let's take a look. But first, a warning. This video contains unspeakable cuteness. And for once, I'm not talking about the presenters.
Hello, I'm Chris Sterling. I'm Product Line Manager for Spring Cloud Gateway.
Hi, I'm Bella Bai. I'm a Senior Software Engineer on the Spring Cloud Commercials team.
And over the past few years, we've been talking to customers about their API gateway needs and how they manage their APIs. And through those discussions, we found out there was quite a few friction points for their application developers. So we created the Spring Cloud Gateway commercial product on Tanzu Application Service to support their needs. In the Spring team, we're very passionate about how application developers work each day. And so we're going to show you how Spring Cloud Gateway for VMware Tanzu supports their needs today and show you an early preview of how we're going to provide that same experience on Kubernetes. Bella, can you start us off with the basic capabilities of our Spring Cloud Gateway product on Taz?
Sure, happy to. Let's demonstrate Spring Cloud Gateway through an example that I'm personally passionate about, Animal Rescue. Here I have a simple React frontend app and a Spring Boot backend app that doesn't have any security configuration for authenticating users or requests. Let's see how Spring Cloud Gateway can help to secure them and tie them up. First of all, let's create a gateway instance. And while we're waiting for the gateway to deploy, let's take a look at the configuration we're using. This SSO block tells the gateway service broker to create a backing SSO instance for the gateway app to bind to, using the plan and identity provider I set here. I also set the count parameter to 2 in case there are too many adopters, then the requests will be load balanced between these two instances. Okay, the gateway instance is ready. Let's push the Animal Rescue application. Like I said earlier, the Animal Rescue app has a front-end web app and a back-end API. In the manifest file, we tell both apps to bind with gateway service instance we just created.
You may notice that there's no route configuration defined on the service instance yet. Both the front end and the back end have their own route configuration files that can be used dynamically to add their routes to the gateway. This allows each of the developers for the front end and the back end to have more control over their own route configuration and as the APIs change over time. Bella, can you show how these routes can be added to the Animal Rescue app?
Let's take a look at the route configuration for the front end. It defines 2 routes, one being public accessible and the other one requires SSL login. In the backend route configuration, there are 3 simple endpoints, one to retrieve all the animals, one to retrieve username, and one to manage adoption requests. Notice that the last 2 routes are SSL enabled, so Gateway will authenticate requests. Then token relay parameter tells Gateway to pass along the ID token, so the downstream APIs can consume information from the token. The Animal Rescue apps are ready. Now let's apply the route configuration. This script is essentially calling an endpoint on the gateway service instance with a bound app ID and route configuration. Now it's finally time to see the cute little furry animals. All the adopt buttons are disabled because we're not logged in yet. So let's log in and let's try adopt Chocobo.
All right, now that you showed authentication, can you show us how the APIs can be authorized via specified user roles?
Let's say only users from the adopters group in Okta can perform adoption, and others cannot. So for you, Chris, I have created an account for you in Okta as an auditor. Let's see if you can adopt any of these cuties. Okay, action forbidden. Request failed with status code 403.
Oh no, I really want to adopt SAN. Can you grant me permission?
Sure, just 1 second. All right, now you can put in a request for SAM. You're in the queue.
Some of our customers want to use their own generated client certificates to secure API endpoints. We've added the client certificate filter for this purpose. Bella, can you show us how this works in practice?
Absolutely. Let's say our partner site, animalrescue.com, wants to pull animals from our API, and here's the common name and fingerprint of their search. So we can add the client certificate header filter to the get animals route and update the routes again. Now, if we don't provide a cert, we get unauthorized. And if we make curl request with the correct animal rescue cert, then we still get a response back. If we use a different cert, say it's another cert with a different common name and fingerprint, we get access denied.
Thanks, Bella. For our customers that started to deploy APIs onto Kubernetes, they're looking for a similar application developer experience that we provide on Tanzu Application Service you just showed. Can you show an early preview of how we're going to deliver this on Kubernetes later this year?
Yeah. To focus on developer experience, I have pre-deployed our custom resource definition and the reconciler to manage that resource. And now let's create a Spring Cloud Gateway object and a load balancer service to get a public IP. This custom object is the equivalent of the configuration parameters in create service command on task. In this file, we're telling the gateway to forward all the requests to spring.io. The gateway deployment is ready. Let's try it out. Hey, it's working.
Great. Now that we have APIs configured on 2 Spring Cloud Gateway instances, one on TAS and the other on Kubernetes, let's take a look at our API Hub product coming later this year. Each of the tiles represent a gateway instance, and if we click into one of them, we can see the APIs that are configured on that instance. Here's the auto-generated OpenAPI documentation from the Animal Rescue front-end route configuration. Since it is auto-generated, this means you can add OpenAPI documentation easily to your existing APIs.